Hello everyone, my name is Glenn and welcome to IceHockey Belgium. I just interviewed Sam from the puck stops here. Before we start the interview, I will first show you a short clip of one of his highlights.
Jesus, buddy, what a save.
Thanks.
What's going on the video? Are you kidding me? Jesus. This channel.
They do, they watch it.
I wanted to know a little bit more about Canada, what's like growing up there with ice hockey in comparison to Belgium. So I asked him a few questions related to it and I think you will enjoy it. Now, let's start with the interview.
The first question is, how does it feel growing up with ice hockey in Canada? Because in Belgium you don't hear that much about it, but Canada is like everywhere.
Yeah, I grew up playing since I was 5, and it's always been, like, I played every sport that I could, but hockey is just obviously the sport that more people play. And yeah, I was grateful to have all the opportunities that I did, and it is everywhere. You're always either playing competitively, or you're playing with your friends on the pond when it's cold. There was never, like, no time, there was always time to play.
The second question, when/why did you start playing ice hockey as a goalie? And for me, I started 4 months ago ice hockey, then 2 months later being goalie, because during practice we didn't have a goalie, and I wasn't good at skating, so I was like, yeah, I will take goalie, and I think I have a little bit more mindset for that. So that was the reason I went actually become a goalie. But with you it is?
Yeah, so I started playing, like, my first year that I ever put on skates, I think I was 5 years old, and it was just to learn how to skate, so there was no such thing as a goalie. But then my next year, I played house league, and everybody got their turn to be in net, because they were just letting everybody play every position. And when I went in net, I, for some reason, fell in love with it. I don't know what it is. And then nobody else wanted to be in net, so I kept playing. And then we ended up winning the championship game that year against an undefeated team. And I think that was the moment I realized, like, I'm meant to be the goalie, because we won in a shootout.
Alright, that's good. The third question I want to ask you is, you play at the IceHockey, but for the people that don't know it like me, what does it mean?
So the IceHockey is just the Adult Safe Hockey League. It's the men's league here. It's the biggest one, I think, in North America, or even in the world. I think maybe it's just North America, but they have over 60,000 teams across the North America. So it's the biggest men's league. So there's multiple divisions. I'm in D1, but you go up as high as C. And C is like people who have come down from junior or used to play in the OHL and, like, really good quality player. So I'm not there yet, but I would hopefully I can get there.
Well, the biggest league with level of playing you can get in Belgium is the Bene League. That's between teams from Belgium and the Netherlands, but it's maximum like 20 teams, so there's nothing compared with Canada.
Yeah, it's really big, which I like, because that means that they understand how to run it properly. I've been in other leagues where they don't know how to run it, and the rules are always changing. And I was in a championship game, and an NHL player, his name's Frank Corrado, I believe, and at the time he was playing on Vancouver, and he was just allowed to come and play, and they ended up winning. I mean, he was defense, he didn't score on me, but we couldn't get by him because he was so good. So that I didn't really like. So now I'm in a league where they don't allow that.
And then the fourth question right now is, what is your biggest slash most worthy ice hockey experience in the ASHL?
What was my best experience?
That's alright.
The best experience I think that I've had, I think last couple seasons ago we ended up winning the finals, which was always good because I was playing on a team that I don't think we should have won. So it was nice, and I like that after the finals they have a tournament, and I think that's fun. The people who win the finals go to this tournament, and then it's like the ultimate championship games. That's what I enjoy the most.
I think for me, the biggest moment would be within 1.5 months, because then we have a tournament at our ice rink for recreation. So far I have only played like 2 friendly games, but I think a recreation competition meer is still a little bit different.
Yeah.
Then the 5th question is, tell us a little bit about the ice hockey club you play at and what makes it a good club.
So I play with a bunch of friends. We call our team name is Hockey City, and we're more of a group of friends than we are a real, a lot of the players don't have a lot of experience playing competitively. There's only me and a few other people who've actually played at higher levels before playing men's league. So ultimately, we're not the best team in the division, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun, especially as a goalie, because I do get more shots and really good shots, so I get better. But ultimately, this summer, we're changing up the team a little bit, so hopefully we have a little bit better chances at moving on, in the playoffs. So that's the one thing. I notice a lot of our players, they're great people, they're amazing, but they just don't have the talent that we need to compete. So.
There's usually, I don't know if they started as a young kid or more like adult, but with me and some people that join recreation, I see when you're starting as an adult it's way more difficult.
Yes.
And
it is.
About my ice hockey club, it's I play at Coldplay Sharks. The Mechelen Golden Sharks, they only play at the Bene League. But in the Coldplay Sharks you have clubs from U8 till U19 and then Division 2 and all the rec and everything. But they are really focusing on the youth so that they get better, and the coaches, you don't find many coaches in Belgium, but the ones, they played ice hockey themselves in also divisions and other teams, so they had the experience. And I think because of that we have a few players that are really good, because one played in U16 I guess, and they played yesterday in Division 1. But if you see the leagues in Belgium, you have recreation, then Division 3, Division 2, and then Division 1. And the only thing above that is Bene League. So if you're like 16 years or younger and you play almost at the highest league in your country, that's for me pretty impressive.
Oh yes, for sure. I wish I was out in there. Canada is great, but I feel like there's although there's a lot of opportunity, there's so much more competition. I would love to come out to Belgium or anywhere and play some hockey out there, because I feel like you get some opportunities as well to play at higher levels, and it just would be a lot more fun. Whereas here, it's great. I love it. I just wish that there was there was more talent than there was. There's so many players with 60,000 teams. I mean, in our division we only have 8 teams, but there's just so much that everybody can play.
But I also think the players that are that good, usually they are more like foreigners from more like the Nordic part of Europe, because the ones I was talking about, they were from Finland, and they played from a little, I think 5 years, maybe a little bit older, they started ice hockey, so And it's also in the family. I know the father, he also played ice hockey, so I think that is also why they are good, because I assume always with everybody that of that country plays ice hockey a lot, they have to be good. If I think about Canada, you have to be good.
Yeah, you have to be really good to stand out, for sure. Which makes it just the competition that much better, because everybody just wants to get better. So that's why I started my channel. I just wanted to get better by watching my videos. So, and it's helped me. So.
Well, that's true, because when you train, you see only the things in front of you. You don't see the backside.
Exactly.
And I wanted to say something, but I forgot it.
It's okay.
My sixth question is, what do you have to say for potentially new players that might think the sport won't be a thing for them, and more like they are a little bit scared, or they are like more like girls or women, because you don't also see that much here. We just had the women's league, but usually you don't hear much about that.
Yeah, my biggest advice would just be like anything in life, just try it. You don't know until you put the skates on whether or not you're going to enjoy it. But then my follow-up advice is just because you enjoy it, just understand that it takes a long time to actually get good at it. So it's a long process. I've been playing for over 20 years, and I still have see how I can get better. And that's not for me. That doesn't discourage me. That actually makes me more excited to play. Because if it was never changing, and I'm as best as I'm ever going to get, then it's not as exciting to play. Because it gets boring if you're really good at something and it's just the same thing over and over. But even guys in the NHL constantly find themselves having to learn and adapt to new equipment and to the new style of play. So for anybody that's interested, I would recommend them just trying it, giving it all their effort. And if they don't like it, then that's fine, but at least they know that they tried it. That's usually what I tell people.
With me, it was like, with college, I have always free day on Monday, so eventually I wanted to do something as a hobby, because it was always like a free day, but I didn't have anything to do. So I went searching in the city some kinds of sport, like badminton, indoor soccer, but that didn't touch me. Then I found out they had ice hockey here. I was watching a game eventually, then trying to go to the rec team. Just you always have 3 times you can just try for free to see if it's something for you.
Yeah.
I try. I'm not good, but it attracts you more and more when you are going, and eventually I keep playing it.
Yeah, it's great. I think, the biggest thing is people think they need to be good right away, but I think getting better is the fun part. It's the process that you got to enjoy. And as much as looking back, I remember hating practices. I would give anything to have practices now, because I only play once a week, and that's usually a game. And practices are where you get to try new things, and you get to, really work hard at getting better, so that when you play the game, it's easier. So the more ice time, the better for anybody starting out. That's another thing I usually tell them. So for you, the more you can get on the ice for free and on Mondays, I would keep doing that as much as possible.
What you said about the progress growing, I know it, I get it, but when you are on the ice, I play with Recreation and Division 2 on Wednesday, only training, not competition. When there are sometimes going many goals after each other, I'm always like, getting a little bit frustrated and everything.
Well, like I said, I've been playing for over 20 years, and I still have games where I'll let in 12 goals. So it's definitely a process, but loving the process is more important than just being the best goalie, I think. Because if you love it, then you're going to work harder, and you're going to actually enjoy and feel better. Because if it was just handed to you, here, you're the best goalie now, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah,
I think
it's
the best part for me is like learning from my mistakes. I like letting in goal because it's just something I can learn from. If I always got shutouts, it wouldn't be that much fun.
Yeah,
it
that's
would be
true.
boring. Yeah.
But I also think if there is a few goals, it doesn't bother me. But if it's many, I have more like the feeling I'm responsible for this area. I cannot let the goal or the puck pass by. So I think it's also a little bit. I don't need to be or expect of myself perfectness.
Yeah, exactly. Just do your best, and when they score, just laugh. I always smile, even though it's hard. But I know that when I smile, even if I'm upset that I let in a bad goal, that helps me keep going, and it reminds me that it's just a game and it's for fun, and that's all that I keep telling myself. Like, this is just for fun. Yes, winning is amazing, but at the end of the day, like, I feel so grateful and fortunate that I get to do this every week. And at the end of the day, if we lose, but it's all about having fun. I think that's what a lot of people forget sometimes, especially when you play competitively, that it's just a game and it's not the end of the world. Just have fun. And you'll find yourself more relaxed if you play that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We are right now going more to the technical side of the questions.
Okay.
And the second question is, when did you decide to do ice hockey and YouTube together?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, I'm a filmmaker. Like, I make videos for a living for a software company. And I had a GoPro. And 2 years ago, I came across a couple other YouTube panels of goalies. And I was like, oh, I could do that easily, like, from the video standpoint. But then I was always wondering, like, oh, people are probably going to make fun of me for filming my men's league games. So I didn't film right off the beginning. But then eventually I was like, you know what, I don't care what other people think, because I think it'll be beneficial for me to watch my games. So then I just started every single game bringing the camera, but I never edited the videos for YouTube. I just watched them. And as I watched those videos, I started seeing the things that I could improve on. So I decided that I'm going to share these videos, because not only will it help me, but there might be other goalies out there who will also benefit from my videos. And I never thought, like, oh, I'm going to get 5,000 subscribers, or people probably won't watch my videos. But at the end of the day, when I have kids someday, I can show them, like, look, this was your dad when he used to play hockey. So that was kind of the initial thought. And so about 2 years ago, I finally uploaded the first video, and pretty much been uploading ever since.
Well, with me I was playing hockey for 2 months, and eventually I thought, yeah, why not doing that as a hobby also? I usually have free time, so, and because I'm doing that, eventually more like the bosses, but for me it doesn't feel like the boss here at the ice rink, because right now I know them very well, so it's more like, I know you're the owner, but you're more like a kind of friend or something that's already, I don't come at the word, but already familiar for you.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And eventually when they saw I was filming the games, they said to me when they have a Bene league and I can come with them, because they have to arrange traffic and everything in that kind.
Yeah.
But if I can come in a car or a bus with them, I just can come at the game and get don't have to pay. And right after the game, they always are eating together. So and then just I come sit with them eating. Because of that, I could film right now only once, because the season was more already to the ending side, because I started at January this year.
Yeah.
I could go with them to Luik. That's a city in Belgium, more to the east side. And there I was able to film a game for them. Otherwise it wasn't possible for me, because it's too big distance for me to go on my own.
Yeah.
But also for them it's right now nice to have it, because nobody was filming games or ice hockey matches of them, so yeah, you play it, but yeah, you never see the effect of how you played. Right
Yeah.
now, they can see it. They can see the goals they make. Sometimes I get a request, not that much right now, if I can cut a part out of the video just of a person who made a goal and send it to them. But I've heard more of the coach from the juniors. Pardon. He is using on his tablet some of the footage, and he is explaining to the juniors, you can actually do better like this and this. So in the beginning it was more like, yeah, I'm filming it as a hobby, but now you're feeling it more like it has a meaning because, yeah, they like it, they use it, so you see already a progress in it.
Yeah, I think filming is one of the best ways to get better, so that's good that they're using your footage to help the team as well.
I would say for the 8th question it was, which effect has YouTube on your skill? Like, you can rewatch the footage, but you have also like different audience, because yeah, at the ice rink they are usually more into it or more like active, sometimes a little bit shouting or in that kind of way, but on YouTube it's a few comments. I don't have many, but with you I see a lot, so in which kind of way has that effect on you?
Yeah, I mean, luckily most people who comment on my videos, they're usually positive and they like that I'm making the videos. There are a few people who say things that are negative, but at the end of the day, I really enjoy the feedback that I get from people commenting, because a lot of the times it's fellow goalies who point something out that I didn't realize, and it actually helps me get better, and that was the purpose too, was so that people can also help me get better and they can learn from other goalies as well. I want to kind of build it, like, my goal now is to have a community of goalies and hockey players and just people who enjoy the sport who come together to discuss how to get better. And that's kind of, I've noticed a lot of goalies now comment on my videos about what they would have done or what I could try next time, and then other goalies will come in and say what they think will work. And it's nice because then I listen to all that feedback and then I try out many different things when I'm on the ice. And I see sometimes that what I originally thought would work doesn't, but what they suggested actually does help me a lot better. So I really do appreciate the feedback, both positive and negative feedback. If anybody has the time in the day to comment on my videos, I'm happy.
With me right now, I can't rewatch footage of myself because I don't right now have a GoPro or camera for filming the back of yourself. So the way I can train better is with public ice skating. I can't do that much often right now. But when I'm training on recreation and Division 2, the more experienced players, they are in the beginning. I didn't have the effect staying more like on the red circle. I was more like inside. So yeah, you have a bigger net to shoot in. They already said that to me, going on the red line. So I'm more like used to that. But right now I've still the feeling to go down too early. So that's what the other goalie from Division 2, you could say it, my goalie coach. We officially don't have a goalie coach, but he is the one right now taught me the most about it.
Yeah.
And that's really, you have to stand, and actually he said to me, you have to pick a side, they have to go, because if you all the way to the right, yeah, they can't shoot to the right, so you can inflict a little bit the way they are coming at you, and then you have to see, just wait, and when they are trying to shoot the puck, only then you have to go down.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've been beat many times because I went down too early. Being a goalie is all about being patient and then reactive. If you try to, you can help steer them in a way, but ultimately I found the more I guess what they're going to do, I'm usually 99% of the time wrong. So being reactive to what you see happening definitely will be helpful, and then not going down until you absolutely have to.
The ninth question is it hard maintaining your level of ice hockey that you are playing and YouTube? Because yeah, you're playing ice hockey. I heard you telling about your job as a filmmaker, and then you have YouTube added to it, so pretty much.
Sorry, the question is, what's the question though, sorry?
The question was, is it hard maintaining your level of ice hockey that you're playing now? And
Is it hard?
And the YouTube part.
Yeah, you know what? I work very long days. I usually work from 9:30 in the morning till about 9 or 10 at night. And I've been doing that for a long time now, so I think I'm just kind of used to working a lot. And when on the weekends is when I'll edit my hockey video, usually on Saturday for about 3 or 4 hours, and then Sundays when I actually play. And I don't find it hard because I enjoy it. And I think a lot of people would find it hard if they didn't enjoy it. But because I genuinely enjoy uploading the videos and making them and interacting with people through comments, I just enjoy it, so it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah,
if that
that's
makes
true.
sense.
I had also in the beginning it felt more a little bit like working and hobby mixed together. But right now it's
Yeah.
feeling more like a hobby because yeah, people are appreciating it and seeing it, so it doesn't feel like work anymore.
Yeah, at the first, I was excited, and every time I got more views, I think getting the views at the beginning and subscribers kept pushing me to keep putting more content out there. Like most new YouTubers, you want to try to get to 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers pretty quickly. So as I was getting, I had 30 subscribers, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I got to keep doing this. But now it's at the point where it's just I genuinely just want to keep making content that's really good and that people enjoy watching. Now it's not really about the numbers anymore, and that's not what motivates me to keep going. So, yeah.
With me in the beginning, it was also like I had maybe less than 10 subscribers at the beginning because nobody knew about it, so you have to tell it. So when there is a game of a club playing but they haven't heard about the IceHockeyBelgium, the YouTube where everything uploads, then I always say to them if they are interested in seeing the match again on the video, and they are always happy that somebody is filming it.
Yeah.
And then I always show it to the coach and just let them talk around to the players, and the players will talk to everybody else, and then eventually else, it gets growing on its own.
Yeah.
And right now I'm a little bit over 50 subscribers, but for me that's already a lot.
Yeah, that's amazing.
In the beginning it was very low because first I was doing some pictures taking with my phone and then putting them on YouTube just to start with something.
Yeah.
But when I got the camera I could film all the match, so yeah, from there it went right up. And right now I'm just, sometimes when there's a save, more like one-on-one when you have penalty, or like a collision, injury or fight, something like that, I put them together in a playlist because my channel is mainly about ice hockey matches between different teams or between different countries. So I'm right now not at the moment where I maybe in the future, but right now not at the moment like you, teaching people or helping people in a way to be a better goalie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where, at the beginning, when I started, it was just posting and making some videos. But as you continue to post and you start getting more feedback from your viewers, you'll start to see what they really would love for you to make, and that will help you kind of create more content. I get people asking me to do reviews all the time, and that's something that I want to do more of because I'm interested, but I also know that they will like it, and that's why I want to kind of get into more review videos. So you'll learn over time with your channel. The more people comment, and you'll get to this like a point where you understand what you're trying to do with it. But until then, you just try as many different things as possible. So if you have full games, highlight videos, if you have specific plays, you can make a ton of great content.
That's actually also one, I would say, the reasons why I came to you, because right now when the hockey season is over, I was like, you have almost like 3 months nothing of footage or videos or something like that.
Yeah.
So I asked on just Instagram, should I do ice hockey interviews when hockey season is over? So not that much people responded to it. A lot of people have seen it, but the ones that responded to it said, oh yes. So I was like, all right. Of the ones that saying yes or no, everybody is saying yes. So I should do some ice hockey interviews. And then eventually I was like, the first two are for my sledge hockey team, because they were here. Because the ice rink in Antwerp is right now closed at the moment because there were some problems with the roof. When they were here, I contacted them before the game if they want to do an ice hockey interview, and they would love to do it. And eventually that's the way I started it. And then eventually going further, like with you, sending the message to you. I was not sure if you would read it, to be honest, because for me, not like Coach Jeremy, he has a lot of people, but for me, you was already like 1,000 people on Instagram or Facebook or something else. If they are all sending you a message, yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, and like, to be honest, I try my best to respond to absolutely everybody, because at the end of the day, I understand people like Coach Jeremy or other hockey YouTube channels, that they do have a lot of people probably reaching out, and a lot of the time they get asked to do a lot of different things. But for me, I like to respond to everybody, because without you watching my content or interacting, then my channel wouldn't be where it is. So for me, I feel like I appreciate the support, so the least I could do is respond to a message, and if I could do an interview, I love that idea, because I love meeting new people, especially when it comes to hockey and people who are passionate about it. So I definitely understand, reaching out to them is a little harder, but I like the idea of doing interviews. I think people are going to really enjoy you interviewing a lot more people.
Right. So then I have a lot of things to do in the summer. That's good.
Yes.
The final question, number 10, is, do you have anything else to say to the people that are watching this?
If they're players, keep playing. If they're goalies, whether they're starting out new or they've been playing for a long time, like I've said to you earlier, I think the biggest thing with hockey and anything in life, I live by it, is that if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, but as long as you put in the work. A lot of people think that they can do whatever they want to do, but they never put in the hard work to actually get to where they want to be. And I think that's the biggest thing that I stand for, is constantly improving, keep working at it, and don't ever stop, because the moment you stop, you won't progress. So anybody who's listening to this or watching this, that's my biggest advice, is just always put your mind to something and then keep working at it until you accomplish it.
But I think of what you said, the thing I want to add to it, I experienced when you're working to something, it doesn't always work. Right now with me, filming ice hockey games interviews, it works because you're more passionate about it. It's more like a hobby. So I would say to the people, find something to work at, but you always like it. So if you like it, it doesn't feel like work. You're doing it, and then eventually you keep doing it. And because you keep doing it, you get your progress better.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Always, when you put your mind, a lot of people start YouTube channels or just anything on social media because they think, I want to build up a following so I can make a lot of money. But the problem with that is that when you worry about, that's your only concern, is I got to do this to make money, what can I do? that will generate more views so I can get more money. At the end of the day, people won't follow you because you're creating, they can tell that you're not creating content that you want to be creating or that you truly want them to be watching. And you see those people all the time. They come and they go really quickly. But for me, I've noticed that the more energy I put into creating content that is helping other goalies, the more people want to watch because they're actually getting value out of the videos. So, yeah, and that's what I enjoy. I like teaching. So I feel like I can do that with this channel, and I'm just going to try to do as much as I can with that. So I totally agree with you. You have to enjoy it.
Right. Then I want to say thank you for the interview. It was really nice and also a new experience.
Yeah, thank you for asking. I really do. This is the first interview I've ever had, so hopefully it's not the last because I do enjoy this. And I think I've been wanting to start a podcast, and I think when you reached out saying I want to do an interview, I was like, that's the perfect reason for me to start. So this will probably be my first podcast, the audio of this interview. So I thank you. I really do appreciate you reaching out.